Bringing the Black Lives Matter movement into the workplace, a Diversity EDU mini-course. Around the world, Black Lives Matter protests have erupted in response to the murders of George Floyd and other people of color at the hands of police. But the movement for racial justice is ongoing and won't remain solely on the streets or within communities of color. It's moving indoors and into organizations of every kind, growing into a powerful force to challenge systemic racism. As companies, educational institutions, and other enterprises consider changes to the way they operate, a critical question will arise. What should we be doing differently to respond to and be part of the invigorated movement against systemic racism? Here are some suggested actions organizations can take now to answer this question. These are just the first steps in what will need to be a deep and sustained commitment to demanding and enacting change. Speak. Make the decision to be an anti-racist organization. Issue a company-wide statement denouncing racism so that employees and customers know where your company stands. Awkwardness or fear of saying the wrong thing are not acceptable excuses for not speaking up. Remember that choosing not to speak out about BLM, racism, white privilege, and bias actually speaks volumes about your company, both to the public and to your employees. Don't stop at just a statement on your company website. Without actionable goals set, both employees and customers will view a website statement as the company using this politically fraught movement for posturing and personal gain. Acknowledge that privilege and discriminatory practices exist in the workplace. Ask leadership to reflect on this fact by asking the question, who is in the room when decisions are made? Listen. Actively encourage BIPOC or Black Indigenous people of color to speak about their experiences, because they matter. Provide space, time, and numerous opportunities and contexts for conversations with employees at all levels, without fear of reprisal or consequences. Solicit ideas from employees on how the company can improve and change, and operationalize them. Educate. Do your homework by reading and learning about systemic racism across institutions. Assess your company's climate. Survey employees to find out how they feel at work, what they need, and what they think needs to change. Review your company's D&I vision and mission statement and evaluate where you currently stand. Reassess internal practices regarding inclusion, hiring, and promotions, including who has access to internships, professional development, mentoring, sponsorships, and high-profile assignments and projects. Act. Announce or reiterate support for employee mental and emotional health and well-being. Recognize that employees are often frightened, angry, and unsure about how to discuss and engage with others about racism, and will need help navigating the work environment. Remember, ignoring the issue does not mean it isn't there. Promote, support, and provide authentic D&I education that encourages critical reflection and leads to effective change. Extinguish the myth that hiring candidates of color is choosing quotas over quality. Instead, emphasize the fact that eligible, diverse candidates exist within every industry and at every level, and are graduates of many kinds of institutions. You can create pipelines to these candidates by ensuring your search committee is itself diverse, hiring a community outreach coordinator, expanding the list of where you post job openings, sponsoring identity group-based networking events with local organizations, and developing relationships with career services officers at historically Black colleges and universities. Donate to organizations doing anti-racist work, and support employee volunteer work. Learn more about Diversity EDU by visiting diversityedu.com.